I am super excited about our sponsor, Bond Charge. They are a holistic wellness brand with products designed to optimize your life. If you are looking to improve your sleep, perform better, and increase your energy, recover faster, or reduce inflammation, they got you covered. My favorite product is the infrared sauna blanket. If you're wanting to burn calories, detoxify your body, or ease stress, you will love this blanket too. This blanket works by raising your heart rate to that of physical exercise. So now you're burning calories while you relax. It takes less than 1 minute to set it up. It heats up fast, and I personally enjoy a 30-minute session while I'm watching TV. This has been a great addition to my wellness routine. It's easy to clean, it's lightweight, and it's easy to store. Not to mention, Bond Charge's sauna blanket has a low EMF, and it offers the highest temperatures in comparison to other brands. Bond Charge ships worldwide, and it's offering free shipping anywhere in the world on every blanket. With easy returns and exchanges, plus a 12-month warranty, you can try this out risk-free. The holidays are coming up, and I'll tell you right now, there is no better gift. Go to bondcharge.com/Chael. Use the code Chael. That's going to save you 15%. That's over $100 in savings. You can thank me later. Or guys, you know what? Just click on the link below. What do you do when you get bucked off, right? You got the old adage, you get right back on the horse. It's an old adage, but we don't see it as often as you might think. And the word fighter gets greatly distorted. If there's any word over my lifetime that's been more corrupted, it's the word fighter. It's what a tough guy is. And you'll have parents all over the place, sometimes even telling their kid, oh, you got to do this. Why? Because it'll toughen you up. And the dad guy, he's going to get a tough kid. He's got to toughen that kid up. That sounds right. That sounds good. I heard a lot of those same things. Why? Why and how do you know? Why do you need to make him tough? What is it that he's going to see that he needs to be tough for? And moreover, how do you know once he's there so you can quit doing those things to him that he doesn't want to do that you're doing thinking you're a good parent because he's going to be tough? Like, how will you know? What is the litmus test? What's the bar? How do you know once you're there? Now, I, as a tough guy, can answer that question for you. But there's many people, some with better records and more accomplishments than me. But they aren't better fighters and they're not tougher guys. He's a world champion, Chael. He was 29-0. He's a world champion. He was 29-0. He was very good at what he did compared to the field, but he also never dealt with adversity. The first time he got knocked down, he did not do the golden rule of get up and get back on the horse. He did nothing. He went and hid. He got depressed. He didn't know what to do. He thought that was his strength to go out and tell the world, I'm strong, and to tell the world that I have a mental deficiency, that I have a weakness, that I turn to substances. This was viewed as a strength. In today's world, this is viewed as a strength. I don't choose to have a judgment on that. I do have earned the right to tell you what a tough guy and a fighter is. And it's very simple. No matter how many things your father made you do for no damn reason and then told you to toughen you up, no matter how many things that you had to do, you can either get done in a day what needs to be done regardless of if you want to go do it or not. That's it. That, if you can do, you're a tough guy. If you can't get out of bed and put your boots on and go out that door, whether you feel like it or not, if you can't do that, you're not a tough guy. If you get dealt with adversity, regardless of what your record is and however many people you've knocked down, when it comes back around to you, if you can't get up and go show your face, you're not a fighter. It's a very straightforward test. And your father never took the time to tell you that because he didn't know. In fact, he didn't know it was mental at all. He thought maybe someday some kid was going to pick on you and you'd have to stand up for yourself. And he would have showed you how to do that, but he didn't know how. So he just used the words. He made you do terrible things and then told you it was to toughen you up. As though in some event you'd have to be... It's just a weird thing. And it's a very unusually uncommon thing in life that will ever happen, that you will need with an unarmed combat to defend yourself. It's a very, very rare thing. And I've never seen a reversal of roles more than I have coming out of Saturday's pay-per-view. I haven't seen a reversal of roles. I've never seen a loser have more matches offered and speculated and be in the headlines and have his picture out there and doing media more than the person that beat him. I've never seen a loser who they're literally, the leadership within our sport is trying to find a match for and as quick as they can. Oh my God, I got to strike and I got to do when the iron's hot, and the loser's all about it. He's completely in. We're in as an audience. Like, we all get this. We all agree. I got to see him back in. I watch it tonight. I'm ready to go. Everybody's ready to go, including him. But the winner does no media, cancels his own press conference, has yet to speak to the media, had a promoter pull a fight from him. I mean, this is very relevant. Fury is scheduled to fight December 23rd with a signed contract. The promoter moved the date. And the promoter didn't tell Usyk and Fury. He came out and told the media. Those guys learned about it through the media. And the promoter had a reason. He said that he's going to need more time. That was a lot harder fight. He's going to need time. I would not resist that if that were accurate. The promoter is the one that made that decision that he needs time. That's the same promoter that would book Francis tonight if he had the opportunity to. He would quite literally book the loser of the affair as quick as he could with no thought about dates. But he moved the winner a month, and now this morning he's moved it another month. The Usyk-Tyson fight is now in February, and it's unknown when in February. It's just in February. And I'll just share with you, that's weird, but that's up to them, right? Boxing, they do some weird stuff. That's between those boys. My point and observation holds true regardless of the promoter stepping in and moving it to January and then moving it to February and not honoring his contract and possibly trying to back out of the whole thing as it is. Whatever's actually going on there. My point still stands true. Nobody has said that for Francis. And that very promoter, if he could interchange them, would. And if he could get Francis, he would. And you, the audience, would accept it. You accepted that Fury needs more time. There hasn't been any pushback. There hasn't been an outcry. It's a very big deal when you sign a contract. You're not looking and testing a life's body of work. Who worked harder, who sacrificed, whose mother loved them more. You're not doing that. From the previous or in the future. You're agreeing to this date right here. Regardless of how I feel, and regardless to how you feel, I got noticed, you got noticed. I'll be careful, you be careful. I won't be 100% succeeding at that because it's a tough process, and you won't. However we feel on that date, we figure it out. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. And you sign your name to it. So moving it to February, it's a very bizarre thing to do. That's not the deal. That's not the agreement. If you need more time, I mean, do you see where it becomes a problem? And do you see where it's against what Fury said? Fury said, my big problem with Francis was ring rust, was a delay. I wasn't in the ring. So what is the remedy for his next fight? To delay the fight. To add to the ring rust. To not go on there and do it. Conceptually, I'm sharing with you that it's weird, but it also comes back to what a fighter is. Just because you haven't lost or you knocked more men off their pedestal, it's one of those things. Did those guys get up? That's what a fighter is. Now you can have a good fighter, you can have a successful fighter, you can have the better fighter, you can have all sorts of conversations. But if the one time you get derailed, oh, by the way, you got derailed and you won, it was just closer than it was supposed to be, and you're going to cancel press conferences and you're going to go lay out and you're not going to come talk to the world. And by the way, we have to hear from other people that the fight's been moved and now it's even been moved again. And the second moved again isn't put on a specific date. It's put on a month, which means you really don't even know when you're going to do it or if you're going to do it. That's weird. And it's a reversal of roles. It's a very fascinating concept. I bring it to you because I've never seen it before. I'm not positive we'll see it again. I feel like predicting for you that we won't see it again. Eddie Hearn, who matters? Eddie's Hearn opinion matters. Now, we see guys overperform. There's a number of things that go into a competition, and sometimes while both athletes will try to tell you leading into it what that was to make, they don't know. Have you guys ever read a business book? Ever? You ever picked up a book on business? You read from a liar. 100% of business guys that write a book create an environment and they went for something and it worked. But they'll never say that. They'll always, and I knew, regardless of what everybody said, I knew deep down that the market needed this and it was ready. They rewrite it. And it's just a part of human nature. But when you have those nights that you overperform or the guy underperformed and it came together when there's really not an explanation for it, we have seen those. Volk Islam Part 1 would be a great example. We have seen those. And what Francis did is shocking. It was shockingly amazing. But boxing's either real or it's not. Guys who have had 100 matches versus a guy that's only had one and he lost it. Like, there's nothing more to the story. You don't have to know any more to the story. There is no meaningful commission that ever should have sanctioned Fury versus Ngannou, purely on records, because that's what commissions go off of. They will fully look at a record. They won't know who fought who or what the guy was. They won't know anything. This guy's got 7 losses and about 20 fights. This guy has about the same thing. Go ahead and match him up. That is what they go off of. There is no reasonable commission that would have sanctioned it. And now a commission can be confronted. According to Eddie, this is Eddie talking, a very meaningful opinion. Joshua versus a guy that's not 0-0, he's 0-1. And Eddie himself said, and he said this to brag about his guy. He was trying to brag about Joshua. He said, I'll bet you Joshua gets him out of there within 6. Whoa. I couldn't believe it. Can Francis Ngannou, who's never won, he's never won a boxing match. Can it be more than he just had this great performance, a great one-off one night? Because not according to Eddie Hearn. If Eddie thinks he's insulting Francis by admitting he can go 6 rounds, if Eddie thinks he's defending boxing by taking one of the most successful and biggest names of the past 2 decades and say the guy needs 18 minutes to get rid of a guy that's never won before, it's a big compliment to Francis. It's a big compliment to what Eddie saw. He didn't mean it as a compliment. He meant it the other way. But it's not. You're now admitting that your absolute best guy that you have under contract in any weight class, your biggest star, your biggest face, needs 18 minutes to deal with another guy who's older and who has a losing record? It's a big compliment to Francis.